Have you ever noticed how the body almost seems to give up? How illness becomes familiar, expected, and almost accepted? How the inner system no longer maintains its vitality as it once used to? For many, immune system issues are not about weakness. They are about resignation, stemming from a pattern that formed long ago when carrying the pressure of life, responsibility, and emotional weight prolonged for too long without relief, return, or support. In this video, we are going to be looking at the patterns and beliefs behind immune system problems. This follows an article and episode that I uploaded over at the Odyssey of Self, touching on the work of Dr. Michael Lincoln's book, Messages from the Body. When we're looking at messages from the body, we're decoding the deeper mind. We're looking at beliefs that have been formed from long ago, from our formative years. Now, this comes from our family's patterns. It comes from observation. It comes from experience. It comes from society and peers. It comes from many different experiences that we have accumulated and adapted to from long ago. Now, looking at immune system problems, we're going to be looking at the origin cause, where it came from in the first place. We're going to be looking also at the behavioral patterns associated with this particular physical manifestation. We're also going to be looking at false and true beliefs and also some general steps for how to heal. This is a very light episode. Again, if you would like to go deeper into it, you can follow the link over to the Odyssey of Self. Also, as an announcement, I am getting ready to launch the Shadow Project app later March, hopefully, if everything works out well, where all of this is going to be stored as a library in the app itself. So keep an eye open for that, because there's a lot of good stuff coming up, as I want to deliver this body of work from Dr. Michael Lincoln to you, so you can decode your body's messages, knowing that your body is your final communication warning center from patterns and beliefs within the deeper mind that have been formed from long ago. And when you understand how this works within yourself, you not only begin to heal your body, but you set yourself free from patterns that have been creating illusions, that have been distorting perceptions, that have been creating behaviors that are really hard to see. First, we are going to look at immune pattern origins, where it originated. It can come from emotional and practical responsibility placed on the child early, often within a dysfunctional family system. The child was positioned as responsible for maintaining stability, harmony, or function within the family. The child absorbed blame and deflected distress without the ability to receive, request, or require support in return. Signs to be aware of that you could be caught in the immune pattern, which are behavioral patterns, could be a demoralized, resignated attitude towards life, often feeling as, what's the use? Continuing to give effort, care, or responsibility while feeling emotionally disconnected from the outcome. There could be difficulty believing that personal action, choice, or engagement will lead to meaningful change. There could be a reduced capacity to care, hope, or invest, even while still showing up outwardly. And finally, there could be a quiet sense of insufficiency, as though no amount of effort will ever be enough. When our body starts to break down, it means that there is a strong fracturing within ourself, where maybe we've given up, we've lost hope, we don't believe in ourselves, we don't believe that maybe we are enough. And also there can be a very hard time receiving life. And there could also be a difficult time with boundaries, establishing boundaries as a reflection of self-worth. So next we're going to look at false and true beliefs. Now, false beliefs are created in early formative years. They are created from experiences. They are created from passed down messages that we get from our families, from society. They are basically patterns that are not part of our true, authentic, pure, higher self, right? So we're born into this world as soul beings, as pure, as powerful beings. Unfortunately, we go through our experiences. They can be verbal, they can be physical, they can be emotional, they can be energetic, they can be simply absorbing and adapting to our environment. And the false beliefs end up feeling to be true because we live with them for most of our life. And what happens when these false beliefs are not addressed, we end up harboring these false beliefs that become stronger and stronger and more comfortable as we grow older, and eventually manifesting in the body trying to send us a signal that, hey, you have to look at this stuff. But if we don't understand how to do this work, if we aren't tuned in with ourselves, we'll overlook what our body is trying to tell us, and therefore our body starts to break down even more and more and more. So understanding how this works is incredibly, incredibly powerful. And yes, it does take some time. I've worked with this now for almost 6 years, and it changed my life completely. It wasn't only about healing the body, and I've healed my body on the spot from this work alone. It was about reconditioning myself. It was about breaking my behaviors, peeling back my illusions, cleaning the lens of my reality so I can see more, I can understand myself more. And now that I understand how this works, I move faster and faster and faster through it. I'm able to understand my fears. I see my fears quicker. I can work through challenging situations easier, etc. So it's not only about healing the body. In this case of the immune system, is going to be about restoring your personal power and being comfortable receiving and knowing your self-worth and creating boundaries. So when we look at the false beliefs are going to feel true, but the false beliefs are what are perpetuating the physical responses. The true beliefs are going to be in accordance to your true, highest, pure sovereign self. Now, when we work with these, you want to incorporate the true beliefs to be your truth, to embody them. And what that means is to live with them as your truth. Now, when we live with our true beliefs, our posture can change, our voice can be stronger, we can make more decisive decisions and choices, we may have stronger boundaries, we may not live in fear as much. There could be many different ways that this can transpire and transmute into our reality and into our existence. So when I read the true beliefs, you want to incorporate them into your practice and into your day-to-day life to be your truth in some way. So imagine how it feels within yourself to live with the true beliefs, and be aware of the false beliefs to dissolve them and not feed into those patterns anymore. In the case of immune system problems, the false beliefs are going to be, I must keep going no matter the cost. The true belief, in accordance to your true sovereign self, is my limits matter, and honoring them restores balance. And another false belief is my needs are secondary or dangerous. The true belief, in alignment with your true sovereign, powerful self, is rest, care, and defense restores vitality. Next, we're going to look at how to heal. These are very general, light steps, but if you would like to go deeper into the practice, you can follow the link over to the Odyssey of Self, and then in time to the Shadow Project app, where there will be more guidance and even a guided meditation to restore alignment within. But the first point for how to heal is awareness. Awareness restores agency. Naming the pattern interrupts resignation and reintroduces choice. So continually being aware of the impulsive reactions and perceptions and decisions will be key for this work completely. The more aware you are of them, it's not about being paranoid or hard on yourself or judging yourself. It's simply being aware and being the observer of yourself. So when we are more aware of ourselves, we are more attuned, we become more conscious, and the patterns eventually over time begin to dissolve and shift. So awareness is always, always, always going to be number one with this work. The next is going to be restore balance between giving and receiving. So effort is no longer met with emotional deficit. So being aware of where you tend to give, where you're easygoing, where you want to just help, and there's nothing wrong with helping, of course. However, be very aware of how much you're giving without expecting anything in return or having a hard time receiving. If you say, no, I don't want your help, or no, I don't feel comfortable, or even if you don't feel comfortable inside, that you don't even want to ask for help or you avoid it, just be very aware of that. It also can be reflective of self-worth. So there may be a couple things that have to be worked on hand in hand here of building your self-worth, feeling comfortable receiving. This also is going to be reflective of abundance and living in an abundant life, which is a different topic, but it's very connected. So be very aware of how you feel when you are receiving or when you are rejecting help or any kind of reciprocity that's wanting to find you or coming into your life. So remember, everything is energy. And when we are in an exchange of energy, if we are just putting out and giving out and pushing out without feeling that we are worthy of receiving, we're not allowing for that flow to happen naturally. So we're building up a wall, which naturally does deplete ourselves if we are continuously, again, giving and having our energy move out rather than allowing for an even and balanced energy exchange, if you will. And then finally, rebuild trust that life can respond, support, and return rather than only demand. So it's softening the relationship with life, listening softly, shifting perception, and feeling that it's safe to receive, that you're worthy of return, and that life is not demanding something of you. And this conditioning can go very deep. It can run very deep. So simply be gentle with yourself and incorporate these simple steps into your practice. All right. So I'm wishing you all the best on your journey and beyond. Until next time, take care.